Hi there, AI adopter. Earlier this week, everyone got distracted by rumors that the United Arab Emirates was giving out free ChatGPT Plus to all residents. Turns out that wasn't true at all. But while everyone was chasing that story, they completely missed what the UAE actually announced. And honestly, it's way more interesting than free subscriptions. The country just dropped news about a massive 5-gigawatt AI infrastructure project in Abu Dhabi. We're talking 10 square miles here, with OpenAI managing a full gigawatt of compute power. That's huge. And it got me thinking, what if America decided to make advanced AI compute a basic right? You know, like how we treat highways, schools, or electricity. What would that actually look like in practice? Let me break down the numbers for you, because they're pretty wild. To match what the UAE is doing on a per capita basis, America would need about 34 gigawatts of dedicated AI infrastructure. That's a one-time cost of around $410 billion just to build it all out. Then you've got your ongoing expenses. We're looking at about $74 billion annually when you factor in electricity and maintenance. Now, here's the thing about electricity. America consumed 4,000 terawatt hours in 2023. Data centers and electric vehicles are already going to add 290 terawatt hours by 2030. Universal AI access. That would require another 290 plus terawatt hours annually on top of that. So we're basically talking about a 14.5% increase in total electricity demand. That's a massive infrastructure challenge right there. But before you write this off as completely insane, let me put these numbers in perspective. Because honestly, when you look at what America already spends money on, $74 billion starts to look, well, not exactly pocket change, but not impossible either. We lose $236 billion every single year to improper government payments. That's just waste. Money going out the door for no good reason. The F-35 fighter program? That's going to cost us over $2 trillion across its lifetime. And remember the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act? That allocated $1.2 trillion for traditional infrastructure like roads and bridges. Suddenly, $74 billion for universal AI access doesn't sound like fantasy anymore. We already write checks this size all the time. The question isn't really about the money. It's about priorities. Now, let's talk about what universal AI access could actually do, starting with education. Picture this. Every single student in America gets their own personal AI tutor. Not some watered-down educational version, but the real deal. A kid in rural Mississippi would have access to the same computational resources as someone in Palo Alto. Instead of just learning about coding or AI, kids would actually build real projects with AI assistance in real time. They'd learn by creating, not just consuming. And here's the big one. The homework gap would basically disappear overnight. You know that inequality where some kids have access to advanced tools and others don't? Gone. This isn't about standardizing education. It's actually the opposite. It's about giving every student personalized support that adapts to how they learn best. The business transformation would be just as dramatic. Right now, sophisticated AI tools basically belong to companies with big enterprise budgets. Universal access would flip that completely. Your corner store owner would get the same analytical capabilities as Walmart corporate. Freelancers would compete with McKinsey's toolkit. Think about what that means for innovation. Silicon Valley hoards talent partly because that's where the infrastructure lives. But if AI compute is everywhere, that developer in Iowa doesn't need to move to San Francisco. That startup in Tennessee doesn't need Valley funding just to access basic AI capabilities. The AI moat around big corporations would just evaporate. Competition would become about execution and ideas, not access to tools. But let's be real here. This isn't going to be easy. The challenges are significant, and most of them are pretty unglamorous. First, there's the grid reality. A 14.5% increase in electricity demand when many grids already strain during peak times. California can't keep the lights on during heat waves. Texas has issues when it gets cold. Then there's water. Data centers use millions of gallons daily for cooling. The Southwest is already facing severe water shortages. Are we really going to prioritize AI clusters over agriculture? And here's something that's already happening. $64 billion in data center projects have been blocked or delayed due to local bipartisan opposition. People don't want these things in their backyard. The permitting battles alone could take decades. Meanwhile, other nations are moving forward while we're stuck in committee meetings. So what's the practical path forward? Well, I think there are some middle ground approaches that could actually work. Instead of trying to build everything at once, start with a voucher approach. Give households AI tokens worth $240 annually and let them choose their platform. Create demand first. Let the market respond. Use education as the wedge. Begin with schools. Build AI literacy from elementary levels forward. Create a generation that expects this as basic infrastructure. Let states experiment with different models and fund the approaches that actually work. And here's an interesting idea. Bundle data centers with small modular reactors. Solve the energy challenge and the infrastructure challenge simultaneously. But here's why urgency matters. OpenAI's Chris Lahane said there are only 2 countries in the world that can build AI infrastructure at this scale. One is us. The other is China. And they're pursuing a comprehensive state-backed strategy that's pretty formidable. While we're debating and going through committee processes, other nations are making strategic bets. The window for maintaining technological leadership isn't going to stay open forever. This really is America's interstate moment. In 1956, Eisenhower launched the Interstate Highway System. It cost $500 billion in today's dollars and completely transformed the country. Not because of the roads themselves, but because of what the roads enabled. AI infrastructure is this generation's interstate system. It requires national leadership, making the political choice to prioritize computational infrastructure. It's about building AI capacity as critical to America's future as highways were in 1956. And it's about ensuring that breakthroughs emerge from America before other nations take the lead. The question really isn't whether we can afford it. The question is whether we can afford not to act, while other nations build the computational backbone of the future. If this kind of strategic thinking about AI and infrastructure interests you, definitely check out the AI Adopters newsletter. We dive deep into these policy implications and what they mean for your career in AI. And hey, if you found this valuable, share it with a friend who's thinking about AI's role in the future economy. These are the conversations we need to be having right now.